So Mary, she cutting everything up. So she like, you're not gonna keep me company while I'm cutting all this. So I'm like, man, I guess I can stick around. I'm like, okay. I'm like, you need some help? She like, no, I said keep company. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, yeah, I can sit here. So I sat in the living room because the living room was like right there, basically where the kitchen was at. So I was like sitting in the living room and I'm like on the couch. So I'm just looking at her. So she like, so you're my sister, y'all serious? I'm like, well, we've been talking, we just kicking it, having a good time. She like, having a good time. She like, okay. What you mean by having a good time? I'm like, just enjoying each other. Like, I didn't know like exactly what she was getting at. So I'm like, just enjoying each other. She like, oh, okay. So she was chopping everything up. So I'm like, hey, I'll be right back. I gotta go to the bathroom. So boom, I go to the bathroom. I go use it. So as soon as I open up the bathroom door, she's right there, standing there. So I'm like, oh. I'm like, oh, you gotta use the bathroom? She like, mm-mm. I'm like, what? She like, nothing. I'm like, okay. I'm like, let me get it. And she had her arms. I'm like, can I? She like, mm-mm. I'm like, oh, oh. She's like, oh. Now, here's the deal. Pause. Yes, I could have denied her. But it was the energy, the confidence, you bold. It was the boldness. Like, oh. Okay, so it's like more like I ain't gonna shut down. Like, and you are far. And it's like me and Tracy, we ain't said like we together. She just been having me locked up in her room and I just been smashing it all the way. Man, I looked at her. I'm like, oh, she like, mm-hmm. I'm like, okay. She's like, okay, what? I'm like, so you're not gonna let me go past? She like, no. I'm like, but you cooking. She like, I'm what? I'm like, you cooking. And so she leaned back. She like, I'm what? I'm like, you cooking. And she grabbed me. I'm like, you cooking. So boom, she get to kissing me, right? So I'm like, so she start kissing me. Boom, she start kissing my neck. I'm like, oh. So boom, now she pushed me in the bathroom, shuts the door, pushed me on the toilet seat. And so now, but I still got my clothes on. So she's like grinding on me on the top. I'm like, oh my God, like, you're making me hard. Like, you're making me ready. Like, oh my God. So she like, give it to me. I'm like, give what to you? She like, what is that? And I'm like, nothing. It's nothing. So she like, yes, it is. So I pull my whole situation out and boom. This girl rocking me on the toilet seat, rocking me. I'm talking about, I was telling like, I'm about to. She like, I'm like, yeah, I am. She moved. Oh, have my moment, right? Boom. She gets up. I'm like, oh my God. I say, your sister. She like, no. She say, I'm sorry. I'm like, you know what? It was an accident. She like, yeah, it was. I gotta go check the food. And she dipped. So now I'm in the bathroom like, oh my God. Like Tracy. But even though me and Tracy wasn't together, but I'm like, dang, like, the way Shorty was talking to me, I ain't even giving y'all the right. I'm trying to be as PG-13 as possible. Like, the way she was talking to me, it was just like, oh my God. It was heaven. So I was like, man, she was way more better. Like, Tracy was good, but Shorty had gifts. So boom, I'm like, okay. So I come out the bathroom. I'm like, okay. Wipe myself off. Come out the bathroom. So she in the kitchen. She cutting up the stuff. So I'm like, you need some help? She like, maybe. I'm like, I'm gonna help you anyway. So now I'm going over there helping her. I'm messing with her. So boom, her phone ringing. She like, oh, that's my phone. But it was in the living room. Like, you want me to get it for you? She like, yeah. So I go over there and I see it says baby daddy. Right? So I'm like, no, it's your baby daddy. And she like, So I'm like, no, pick up. So she like, hello? He like, hey. She put him on speaker like, you got $20 I can borrow? She like, no. Now, he liked it to drink a lot. So she like, no, I don't got $20. He like, I want to come see my son. She like, well, right now he in school. He was in school. She like, right now he in school. So she like, he like, well, I'm finna come over anyway. So I'm looking at her. So she like, well, you can come up if you want to. And I just looked up like what? Boom, this dude comes over. Tracy comes home, right? Tracy comes home like, so the food is ready. The tacos is ready. I'm mad because it's like, yo, you just banged me out. You banged me out in the, you know what I'm saying, the bathroom. And okay, we're gonna play this game. So boom, we all at the table. So Mary, she made everybody tacos. She like, how many you want? How many you want? What kind you want? How you want it? Boom. She do everything perfect. So boom, the tacos was 100% good. 100% good. She made it G14 classified good. So boom, so he get in an argument because he can't get no money out of her. So Tracy like, come on, let's go in the room. So I'm like, all right. So she looks, so I just get up like, hey, thanks for the tacos. She like, you welcome. I'm like, yeah. So I go on ahead, I go in there with Tracy. So now me and Tracy, we chilling, watching the movie. Tracy rolled up. We chiefing. So she trying to kiss on me. I'm like, moving. Because I'm the type that once I start dealing with somebody, I ain't going to really be involved with somebody else like that. So I'm like, she like, why are you doing it? I'm like, nah. She like, you mad? I'm like, no, I'm not mad. She like, what, you want to go? I'm like, no. I'm like, I'm sorry. So boom, she passed it. We steady chiefing back and forth. So now we starting to take shots. So she get on top of me. I'm like, but she just had like a bed, like no bed board or nothing like that. So it was just the wall. So she had her hands on the walls and she like, you so fine. I'm like, I'm all right. So she moved her hands and she grabbed my hands. She placed it on her hips. I'm like, she like, you don't want none? I'm like, I don't know. She like, let me see. So she started moving, wiggling around. I'm like, okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think I want something, right? So boom, I end up smashing her. Straight up smashed her. And when I say smashed her, I mean smashed her. Boom, we go to sleep. Tracy got to get ready to go to work. I say, hey, look, I got to go dip to go get me some clothes. Now, here's the deal. I was already running away from the crib, right? So I was staying, like, with my peoples, like, with some of my guys. So I was just going there. So it was like me kicking it with Tracy. I was good. I had shelter. And I'm getting banged on. But now I got the sister in the mix. You feel me? So, boom, I end up seeing this lady when I came back on my way back to Tracy crib in the building. This lady named Mia. Now, she stayed a couple of floors away from Tracy. So she saw me. She supposed to be rainbow. She was a lesbian. So she see me. She say, ooh, you pretty. Right? So I'm like, who, me? She like, yeah. I'm like, pretty? I'm like, all right. I'm all right. I get on the elevator. She like, hold on. I'm going to the elevator. Now, she was just talking to the security at the front desk. So she like, I'm getting on that. So she like, oh, I'm going to 8. I'm like, all right. So I press 8. She like, you live in the building? I'm like, no. I'm like, I'm here to visit somebody. She like, you fine. I'm like, oh. She like, you smoke? I'm like, yeah, I smoke. She like, I be having some kill. Me, you gotta smoke. She like, you play cards? I'm like, yeah, I play cards. She like, you should come down tonight. I'm having a card game. She like, and I'll smoke with you. She like, you can bring some of your friends if you want to. I'm like, all right. But she looked a little off. You know how you can see somebody and you can just tell, like, the way they look? That the ComEd and that the elevator goes. So I was like, shorty look a little off. But she seemed like she could be cool. So I ain't gonna judge. So I'm like, yeah. She said, okay, just make sure you come to my apartment. I'm like, now, where you at again? She like, okay, just make sure when you come upstairs, you're gonna see because it's gonna say party on the front of the door. I say, So you just want me to travel up the stairs? She said, yeah, it's going to be a party. You going to hear it. I'm like, all right. Now in the back of my mind, I'm like, I'm not coming to the party. Like in my mind, I'm not coming to the party, right? So boom, I get off the elevator first. She's still going up. So I guess that to Tracy crib, ring the bell. Tracy mama opens up the door. She's off. So I'm like, she like, I'm like, she like, I'm like, I'm like, she like, So she pointing at my bag saying no, right? So Mary sees it. So she starts signing to Tracy mama. Now comes to find out, Mary is the stepsister. Tracy and Mary got the same dad, but not the same mom. So she signed it to Tracy mom. Tracy mom like, So Mary like, come on. So I'm like, thanks. She like, anytime with your fine self. I'm like, Now Tracy mom can't even hear that. I'm like, So boom, I go in Tracy room. So a couple of minutes pass. I call Tracy. I'm like, hey, I'm here. She like, oh, that's good. She like, I'll be off for the next 2 hours. I'm like, all right, bet. So I hang up. I'm chilling. So I get a knock on the door. I'm like, it's open. It's Tracy's sister. It's Mary. She like, you busy? I'm like, no, I'm just watching TV. She like, what you watching? I'm like, you care? She like, something like that. So she like, I really just came here to do this. And she bent over in my face and leaned over and just